this what you want? This fucking foliage? Is this what you want? Mr. Dips? Is this what you want? Me standing in front of EC3 buying designer coats? Is this what you want? Me sitting in some hipster hotel in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, fluffing pillows? Is this what you want? I don't believe this. This graffiti art, hipster hotels, avocado toast. All I want is a fucking Guinness. An ice cold Guinness. What the hell does that mean? Oh, this is what you wanted. This is your Monday Night Raw review right here on Off the Script. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Monday Night Raw review for April 20th, 2020. I hope that you hope everybody had their 420 essentials tonight for Monday Night Raw. And even if you did and were properly prepared with all of your 420 essentials, I still don't think it would have made for an entertaining experience on Monday night. WWE apparently wants to get into the movie business, coming to a home theater near you during quarantine, how to bury a stable in just 2 weeks, starring Vince McMahon and Paul Heyman. Listen, I don't want to start off with an overwhelming sense of negativity. I don't. Who am I kidding? This show is going to be negative. But I love Garza. I think Garza is going to be phenomenal. I really do. Garza is a license to print money in WWE. He really is. Again, I said it last week. I mean, I sound like a fucking fool for saying it because everybody that came before him, I mean, 98% of the time, it is them failing. But Garza is the future. Garza is a license to print money. I just don't see how you could fuck up someone like Angel Garza. He's got the look. He's great in the ring. I mean, the guy is championship material just by looking at him. Austin Theory. I love Austin Theory before he even came to the WWE. I seen him in Evolve in person a handful of times. The guy is just great at what he does at such a young age, at 22 years old. He is the future. I mean, just look at him. He's got the same body type and the same makeup that made John Cena just really stand out to everybody at that age. It's another one of those situations where, again, I say, and I sound foolish in doing so, but it's right in front of them, right in front of their eyes. He's the future. How do you fuck him up? How do you fuck him up? I said in Austin Theory's situation, it was too early for him to be called up. And I'm going to reiterate that several times here again tonight because, as you can see, they are proving my point week by week. Andrade has been one of the best in-ring performers that WWE has had since his arrival. Not during his pop out of the cake, stripper days in NXT where he was just completely directionless. Soon as Zelina Vega joined him, his act was elevated to a completely different level. Never looked back. WWE never appreciated Andrade. Cien Almas still can't get over the fact that they cut his name, but that's not even the point I'm trying to make here. Andrade is and has always been one of the top performers in the ring that WWE has had employed. This is a great stable. Yes, it's a stable that's just randomly thrown together. Austin Theory really doesn't fit into what they're trying to do with that stable, but I get it. It was a last-minute thing, right? He is there because Zelina Vega wanted young, blossoming just up-and-coming talent. I guess it works if you really want to make it work. And the way that they were presented, it was like, man, these guys could look great together. They could be something. They could have something on their hands virtually out of nothing. And what did they do? What did they do? In typical WWE fashion, they take three guys, two of which I love. Austin Theory, too young, should not be where he is yet, but I'm going to deal with it. What do? In 2 weeks, they buried this stable. In 2 fucking weeks, they buried this stable. Once in the beginning of the show and at the end of the show, it's as if the plan to make this thing into a stable was just, you know what? We're going to get rid of it. It doesn't make any sense. Flavor of the fucking week. We're over it. Let's move on. That's what I got. That's the vibe I got at the end of Monday Night Raw. And they put Garza in a situation where he was in a 5-minute match. You want to call it a squash match? I wouldn't even blame you for doing so. A 5-minute main event match with Angel Garza and Drew McIntyre. You give those guys 20 minutes, they tear the house down. I don't give a shit if we're in the middle of a pandemic or not. 5 minutes they got. The guy didn't even get his fucking pants off. 5 minutes. Buried. And I don't want to hear, oh, this is how you build up Drew McIntyre's reign as champion. No, that's not the way you do Drew McIntyre's reign as champion. It's not. Because there are other ways to go about it. There are other ways to build up Drew McIntyre as WWE champion. If beating Brock Lesnar and The Big Show at WrestleMania wasn't enough for you, I don't know why he needed to bury these three guys in one single week. And then on top of that, nobody's talking about it, but I'm going to mention it to you guys. Why is the United States Championship in this thing taking a back seat when Andrade should be defending the United States Championship and making that his top priority? We're feuding with Drew McIntyre because of, Andrade and McIntyre have history because of McIntyre's injury in NXT. Meanwhile, you think Andrade would go after the WWE Championship? Andrade makes more sense than fucking Seth Rollins as the challenger for Drew McIntyre in the WWE Championship. At least he has a championship, which signifies he hasn't lost said championship. Meanwhile, Rollins is getting a title shot, and the guy lost his last WrestleMania match. His last match, period. I don't get it. I don't get the logic of this company. This is a stable that had great promise, 3 talents that undoubtedly could be the future of this company, buried, made to look like losers, made to look like jobbers, made to look like certified pussies in 2 weeks. And I hate saying that. I hate saying that because each one of them is fucking great at what they do. And this is how you treat up-and-coming talent. Now, when these guys go on and move on from Drew McIntyre, is anyone going to take them seriously? Is anyone going to look at Garza as a threat? Is anyone going to look at Andrade as a threat? Is anyone going to look at Austin Theory as an up-and-coming rookie in WWE? No. They're going to have that lasting image of Garza and Austin Theory looking at Zelina Vega as if she's got 3 tits, and they're not wanting to get into the ring and take on Drew McIntyre 2-on-1 at the beginning of the show. They're going to think exactly what I said. They are pussies. And I hate saying that. I really do. Awful, awful, awful show from Monday Night Raw. This was a show that tried to do Money in the Bank and build Money in the Bank, and it generated 0 interest from Money in the Bank. This show was horrendous from top to bottom on Monday night. So we got the Viking Raiders as well. Get a load of this. The Revival. The Revival were released from the WWE. We reported on OTS this past weekend on Saturday. If you guys want a visual of what I'm talking about, it's right in the beginning of the show. Vince McMahon came up with a comedy clown-like concept for the Revival. They had pictures leak online. I don't know where bodyslam.net got these pictures. I'm sure they got them from the Revival firsthand. I would not be surprised. The Revival were going to be a comedy act until their contracts run out in WWE. WWE opted to release them, which was a blessing in disguise for their fucking careers. So now that the Revival no longer can be WWE's comedy act, we got the Viking Raiders. Yes, the Viking Raiders. Hanson and Rowe, the Viking Raiders, singing karaoke in a minivan, riding around Orlando, singing karaoke. Singing karaoke, folks. Oh, and by the way, they were wearing their helmets, and Ivar was wearing, I believe, or both of them were wearing helmets, but Ivar was eating a chicken leg. He was eating a chicken leg. I don't know if he got that from Titus Catering and he just took it and left. Maybe he was in a hurry. I'm wondering if it was specially seasoned from Titus Catering. I heard Titus Catering was in quarantine. You know, it's not labeled an essential business. I don't know where the fuck he got the chicken leg from, but I was more interested in where he got the chicken leg from than this fucking promo package. It's not really what I expected from the Viking Raiders. You know, the two guys that are Vikings, and they go to war. Meanwhile, they're singing karaoke in a minivan. In a minivan, folks, on Monday Night Raw. So we'll go over that, and we'll go over their horrendous singing. You thought Elias was bad on SmackDown. Jesus Christ. Oh, my goodness, man. These guys, it's so easy. Go and film them fucking chopping with axes or fucking doing something Viking-related, drinking out of one of them fucking Viking horns, drinking blood or something, building a Viking ship of some sort. I don't know. This is what they got these guys doing. Seriously. Unreal. Have them fucking playing God of War in quarantine. That would be more Viking than anything WWE accomplished with this fucking segment. Charlotte Flair continues to devalue the NXT Women's Championship. Why this woman gets Monday and Wednesday nights is a fucking crime. I don't know. Actually, it's, I don't know. It depends on who you talk to. You might like Charlotte. To me, this is absolutely nauseating television. Charlotte continuing to devalue the Women's NXT Championship. And she's already coming up with her own list. Her own list of burials. It's amazing. It's amazing what they have this woman do on WWE television. It's amazing how they treat her. It's as if no other woman in the division exists. And I still get people coming at me, oh, it's going to be great for the NXT women's division. Where? Ratings are declining, crisis or not. Nobody's watching NXT. Nobody gives a fuck about NXT or AEW for that matter. Just I want to be on the same page as everybody. I don't want to show any favoritism to one and not the other. Both shows suck. Both shows suck. And Charlotte is not a draw. In fact, she's drawing people away from the fucking show. Might have to go back and reprogram her. She's working in the opposite ways. Maybe she needs another firmware update. Money in the Bank qualifying matches tonight for the men. Bobby Lashley was flipping tires inside the Performance Center. This is what they think is going to gravitate towards a ratings increase on Raw. And then Nia Jax. Nia Jax still fucking sucks, folks. That is your weekly statement on Nia Jax, which will be the weekly statement from here on out until she is no longer on television. Nia Jax fucking sucks. Sarah Logan was terminated. Sarah Logan was terminated. Why Nia Jax wasn't on the list, I have no fucking idea. And this is your Monday Night Raw review. Get ready, folks. Strap yourselves in. It's going to be a doozy here on Off the Script. Again, thank you guys for joining me. Listen, I got a special announcement for you guys, and it's one that you've heard several times. Hit the fucking thumbs up. I'm telling you right now, it's helped out the podcast all weekend. All weekend. We got almost 2,500 likes on Fridays Off the Script. Probably more than that. Haven't even checked. We got over 2,000 likes for Saturday's show. It helps the channel out, helps the podcast out, helps the name of the brand get out there, helps me, helps the channel, helps it get into the recommended. So make sure you guys go and do that, man. Before you do anything else, hit the thumbs up. It takes absolutely no effort. I'm telling you, it gets the podcast in the eyes and ears of new viewers. So make sure you guys go and do that for me. I would greatly appreciate it. And while you're at it, if you're new, hit that subscribe button down below. There's nobody in the community that does it better than JD. Thank you guys so much for that. If you want to support the podcast via Patreon, you know how to certainly do that as well. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. And if you want to check out all the other videos that I uploaded on the channel this past weekend or going back to last week, you got Dynamite, you got Off the Script, you got SmackDown. Everything you guys need is linked down below in the description of this very video. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. That's on Twitter and Instagram. And I want to say thank you for all of the supports this weekend on the podcast. Let's get into the top of the hour, man. Hour number one, Monday Night Raw, started off with Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre opens the show. He comes out, and he is in the ring, looking into the camera. He's looking into the guy. He's looking in the camera of the cameraman that's standing in the ring and not looking at the hard cam, acting all unnatural and unorganic. He's looking at the audience at home. Great. Great. I want you to talk to me, bro. I don't know who the fuck you're talking to looking at the other cameras. I'm glad that they actually did this for Drew McIntyre. Said the highlight this week, or of his week, is that he is in the ring and being on Monday Night Raw, welcoming us to Monday Night Raw. He talked about being jumped in the ring last week. He said he now has a target on his back because everybody wants the title that he has. Even those who don't deserve it, they want the title that he has. Seth Rollins. Anyway, he said last week, if you deserve an opportunity at his title, you get one. Just keep that in the back of your minds, folks. Let me repeat that if it went over your heads. He said last week, if you deserve an opportunity at the title, at his title, you will get one. He said a lot of people say Seth doesn't deserve an opportunity, and that was legit. That's a shoot right there, folks, even though it wasn't meant to be one. Seth doesn't deserve an opportunity. He said he could make Seth jump through hoops to get a title shot, yet he's one of the most decorated superstars of all time. Seth Rollins is one of the most decorated superstars of all time. If I was to label Seth Rollins decorated, he would be like a bare-naked Christmas tree in the middle of Christmas season. No ornaments, no lights, no, fancy Christmas balls, none of that silly string that goes on the Christmas trees, no star at the top. It's just one bare-looking fucking tree, one evergreen tree with absolutely nothing on it. No presents underneath the tree. Santa Claus said, go fuck yourself. Everybody in this house is a complete fucking asshole. That's what I look at or think of when I look at Seth Rollins being a decorated superstar. Where the fuck does this company get off saying Seth Rollins is a decorated WWE superstar, especially in the history of WWE? Seth Rollins is a dedicated pussy. Seth Rollins is a dedicated idiot. Seth Rollins has a dedicated level of stupidity on social media. I don't know about superstar. I mean, who the fuck writes this shit? Who writes this shit? Laughable. Absolutely laughable. So therefore, he's challenging Seth to a match at Money in the Bank for the WWE title. He's challenging Seth. This is how the cretins, this is how the unintelligent on social media are going to look at it. Well, Drew McIntyre is making himself into a fighting champion. Okay. Yeah, you could be a fighting champion, and in other words, I could actually refute your fighting champion statement, and I could say, idiot. Seth Rollins is getting a title shot for no reason. Drew McIntyre is challenging Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins is looking pretty while Drew McIntyre comes off like a fucking idiot. He comes off like a fucking idiot. He's giving a title shot to someone that he knows doesn't deserve it, but he doesn't give a shit. He's giving the title shot to Seth Rollins anyway. And then someone on social media tried to leverage with Sean Ross Sapp. Oh, well, Seth Rollins has the second best winning percentage on Monday Night Raw in the year 2020. Meanwhile, look at the list. He's number 4 behind Aleister Black and Angelo Dawkins. Yet he's number 2 on Monday Night Raw. And in the eyes of these idiots on social media, he deserves a WWE championship. Folks, he lost at WrestleMania to Kevin Owens. Why isn't Kevin Owens on the show since WrestleMania? Why is Kevin Owens not getting a WWE championship match? I don't get it. Oh, but it's a babyface versus a babyface. In front of who? In front of who? Mike Rome? There's no crowd. Who gives a fuck if it's babyface versus babyface? At least it would make sense. At least it would make sense. Instead, I got WWE Creative trying desperately to make Seth Rollins look like it makes sense. And it don't. It don't. Unreal. So, he's challenging Seth to a match at Money in the Bank for the WWE title. Comes off like a fighting champion. He called for the camera to zoom in. He addressed Seth. He was then interrupted by Angel Garza, Austin Theory, and Zelina Vega, who, by the way, is fantastic at her job. I just want to say, right now, she's great at her job. Zelina said hi. Drew smiled and said, hi, Zelina. You're the number 1 thorn in my ass. She said they're all sick of his little rah-rah speeches. She said he's looking past tonight's, too confused on the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Andrade then attacked Drew from behind. Drew came back with a Claymore. Zelina then called for Austin Theory and Angel Garza to run into the ring and take on Drew McIntyre 2-on-1, and they refused to get into the ring. No, you want to go? You go. No, not me, bro. You go in. And then Zelina Vega is looking at them as if, what the fuck did I just get myself into? Why am I associated with these 2 fucking pussies? Where's my husband? Right? So, they refused to get into the ring. Drew gave Andrade a second Claymore, knocking him out of the ring. And he stumbled up the ramp to Zelina, to Garza, to Theory. And that was a warning shot, says Byron Saxton. And then he says in the camera, he's going to slaughter Angel Garza later in the main event, so put the kiddies to bed early. Oh, man, he was absolutely on point at 8:15. We just didn't know what he was actually saying or meaning in that moment. Slaughter? Oh, you got it right, bro. Buried. They could be put in the grave with AJ Styles at WrestleMania. This was fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous. I think Drew's great. I think Garza and Theory and Andrade are great. This was terrible. Terrible booking. I don't understand why you got these 3 guys out there. Andrade's getting his ass kicked after losing last week. Yes, Rollins saved the day last week, right? And this week, you got Garza and Theory. No. I don't want to get in the ring with this guy. Really? This is a stable that you just put together that should be dominating Monday Night Raw. And now they don't want to get into the ring in a 2-on-1 situation to take down the WWE champion. I don't understand who looks at this and says, you know what? These guys are legit. Why is it always one-sided is what I want to know. Why do we always have to make the champion look good and bury somebody just so fucking terrible that they are not taken seriously after the fact anymore? Nobody's going to look at these guys serious anymore. I didn't. For the rest of the show, I deem these guys pussies. And I'm sorry to be saying that. I really am. Awful, awful creative here by WWE. Austin Theory, speaking of which, versus Aleister Black, Money in the Bank qualifier. This was probably Austin Theory's best effort so far in the several weeks he's been on Monday Night Raw. Couple of weeks he's been on Monday Night Raw. Very good match here to qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder match. Aleister Black wins with a black mass that absolutely devastated Austin Theory. Wasn't perfect. It was sloppy from the outset. It kind of leveled itself off a little bit towards the end. Zelina Vega was on commentary, and it's got to be a little weird. Got to be a little weird for Zelina Vega to be looking at her client, Austin Theory, wrestle her husband while she's on commentary, and she got involved in the match. She tried to interfere and distract Aleister Black in the beginning stages of this match. It looked like almost she was trying to hold back a smile. You could tell that she was happy to be working with her husband in that moment, but it's kind of weird that WWE is taking Zelina and Aleister Black, that we know are a married couple, putting them together in a angle of sorts on the show, not really acknowledging it yet. They got a YouTube channel out there, and they got their Instagram. Everybody knows their personal shit, but they play it off as if, we can't mention Aleister Black is married to Zelina Vega, so it's a little bizarre. It is a little bizarre, knowing what we know, but it was a very good match. Aleister Black wins here with the Black Mass. He moves on to Money in the Bank. There will only be 6 men's competitors this year, which is very good. I guess they can't do the 8 because that would be over the limit of 10, and that would be not abiding by the CDC rules and regulations, so they're doing 6. But I said this last week, I'm going to say it again, and I'm sure it's not going to be the last time I say it as we go into Money in the Bank. Aleister Black needs to win Money in the Bank, and if it doesn't happen, it's going to be one of the biggest creative blunders that WWE does all year. So I'm letting you guys know right now that Aleister Black is not winning Money in the Bank. I'm waiting for Baron Corbin to be involved in this match, and then I'm waiting for WWE to include Baron Corbin in the match and have him win the briefcase on May 10th. That's all I'm saying. Just throwing that out there. Moving on here, man, we got Shayna Baszler versus NXT up-and-comer Indi Hartwell. So this one lasted 1 minute. Baszler wins here via referee stoppage, as she did the same thing that she did to Sarah Logan last week. But this time, the referee and Mike Rome got it right. So Shayna Baszler wins. Afterwards, Baszler brought a ladder to ringside. She yanked Hartwell out of the ring while she was being attended to by officials and referees. She swung her into the ringside barricade. Then she put her arm in between the ladder and the steps and kicked the ladder, injuring her arm further. Hartwell cried out, and everybody was just selling the injury. And Shayna Baszler is technically not breaking any rules, and she's really making a push to win that Money in the Bank briefcase. So I posed a question on Twitter. Who's going to win Money in the Bank coming out of the women's division on May 10th? Is it going to be Shayna Baszler? Or is it going to be, if she does advance, which at this case, if she's not winning it, I don't even know why the fuck you would put her in there. Is it going to be Sasha Banks? You could make a case for both Sasha and Shayna to win, right? They both got their own things going on. Shayna with Becky, and we got Sasha with Bayley. But even though I merely said Sasha Banks because I want Sasha Banks to get some sort of victory in WWE, as I feel she's been an afterthought on television, she doesn't need the Money in the Bank briefcase to feud with Bayley. You could make a storyline out of what they got going on without the briefcase. You absolutely, positively need to fix what you did with Shayna Baszler at WrestleMania when she lost that match to Becky Lynch, a match that she should have never fucking lost. You need to rectify that creative mistake. You need to give her the briefcase, and she needs to win the contract just to salvage whatever the fuck's going on with her main roster run. So I think Shayna winning it has more positives to it than a Sasha Banks. So that's my take there. Speaking of Sarah Logan was fired from WWE on Black Wednesday last week. Her name was mentioned several times during this show. Actually, her name was mentioned more times on this show than it has been in the duration of her main roster run before she was terminated. Now, there was a report going around from Pro Wrestling Sheet and Ryan Satan that Sarah Logan is going to be brought back to the WWE, that a lot of people went to bat for her to bring her back into the company, and she's going to have an active role on Monday Night Raw when they deem it essential, I guess. I don't know why. Hey, listen, I'm glad she's got work. If that's the case, I'm glad they're bringing her back to work. She's married to one of the Viking Raiders, okay? She's married to Hanson of the Viking Raiders. The bigger guy, if you guys don't know. I'm not even going to call him by his Monday Night Raw name because it's fucking ridiculous after what I've seen tonight. But she's married to one of the Viking Raiders. I'm glad that she's got work if that's the case. But what is the point? What is the point? Is she going to get revenge on Shayna Baszler? Is she going to win a Money in the Bank qualifying match? Is WWE management going to feel sorry for her and put her in the Money in the Bank ladder match? Is she going to win the briefcase and go after Charlotte Flair? What is she going to do? Right? She's going to be brought back to Monday Night Raw to go right back into the role of irrelevancy on the show. The blessing in disguise is having her terminated. That was a blessing in disguise for Sarah Logan. She would go anywhere else and be treated better than she would be in WWE. Why come back? They didn't want you. They didn't value you. They didn't respect you. You were nothing but a fucking jobber on WWE Raw. Now you want to be brought back because you need a payday, you need a job? Come on. You got to have more heart than that. If I'm Sarah Logan, I would have been like, listen, I got my 90 days. I'm getting paid. I'll find work. I don't need WWE. Because I know when I go back, nothing's going to fucking change. The more things change, the more they stay the same. You know? She could be told all this shit. She could be whispered all these sweet nothings in her ear. And nothing is going to change for Sarah Logan. It's as if WWE's bringing her back just to say, you know what, yeah, we're sorry, but we'll put you in something for 2 weeks, and then we'll bury you again like we usually do. Give me a break. Ricochet and Cedric Alexander, WWE's resident bad boys, they ride together and fly together versus Shane Thorne and Brenden Vink, the two Aussies. Ricochet and Alexander win in 3 minutes. I think these guys have a great makeup as a tag team. I really do. But I got to be real with you, man. I got to be real with you. This clearly was not in the cards. This is a last-ditch effort because WWE has nothing planned for these guys. It was a tag team pairing based out of, well, I got nothing for Ricochet. I got nothing for Cedric. I like Ricochet. I like Cedric. Let's pair them together. Two guys I like that we got nothing for, let's pair them together. And they could collectively do nothing together and go nowhere together. And ride together and do nothing together and fly together and eat catering together and do whatever together. Okay? You know? It's ridiculous. I love these guys. I do. But I'm not gonna have these fucking cretins on social media tell me I'm being negative about Ricochet and Cedric Alexander when they're in the middle of a pandemic trying to get over as a tag team in an empty arena. How is WWE going to gauge how over these guys are or how well they're doing if this is the one team on the roster that you pair together that needs that live audience interaction? That's what it's going to hinder. That's what it's going to be based off of if the crowd loves them or hates them. WWE is in this phase of doing empty arena shows for the time being. How do we know that these guys are getting over, or how do we know that these guys are going to be catapulted to a title shot or some major program? That's what a team like this needs. That's the lifeblood of a team like this. It's not going to get over. This is two guys that did nothing before this, paired together for the sake of boredom. I'm sorry if that truth hurts you folks, but that is the case of Ricochet and Cedric Alexander's situation. I'm sorry. They beat Shane Thorne and Brenden Vink in 3 minutes. We got Thorne with a recoil, and then Cedric hit the lumbar check for the win. And that was it. Well, look at what we have over here, man. Look at what we have over here. Now, this guy, JD, you know, he's always complaining about Monday Night Raw. I think it's a great show, man. I think it's one of the best shows on TV. And Friday nights is even better. You gotta go watch SmackDown on Fox. But, you know how I usually talk about, wood? I'm gonna talk about a different kind of wood. I'm gonna talk about BlueChew.com. Now, I know none of you geeks out there are getting any good sex. I know none of you got any women out there, but if you do, if by chance you do, you can now increase your performance and get that extra, wood in bed. BlueChew.com. That's like the color blue, you geeks. That's like the color blue. BlueChew.com. Now, Blue Chew is the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. Now, you can take them anytime. You can have wood anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach. And since they're chewable, they're much more chewable than my wood. They work up to twice as fast as a pill, so you can be ready when the opportunity arises. And we love giving opportunities, man. I mean, just look at Roman Reigns. Look at Seth Rollins, man. I'll tell you, man, he deserves a WWE Championship opportunity. Now, if you could benefit from more confidence where it counts, I don't know why you wouldn't try Blue Chew. Blue Chew is the fast and easy way to enhance your performance. Blue Chew is prescribed online by licensed physicians, so you don't have to go to the doctor or wait in line in the pharmacy, and it ships straight to your front door in a very discreet package, so nobody knows that you're going to be getting that, wood. And, listen, guys, you cannot use this on your blow-up dolls, okay? This is for real women, which I know you guys don't get because, I mean, you're a bunch of wrestling smarks. They're made in the USA, and since Blue Chew prepares and ships direct, they're cheaper than a pharmacy, and best of all, there's no more awkwardness. Now, right now, we got a special offer for all of our listeners of this shitty podcast, OTS. Visit BlueChew.com and get your first shipment free when you use promo code JD. And that's $5 shipping and handling only, man. So you're getting it for free. You can get free wood. That's BlueChew.com, code JD to try it for free. Blue Chew is the better, cheaper, faster choice. And I want to thank them for giving everybody listening, wood. Charlie Caruso interviewed the Kabuki Iconic Warriors. I don't know. I still don't know what Asuka's doing. I really don't know what she's doing. You know? It's always different every week. Apparently Vince McMahon is very impressed with Asuka. It's great. It's great. I wish I was impressed with this fucking show. When am I going to be impressed with Monday Night Raw? You know? Finally, after 3 fucking years, 4 years, that Vince McMahon is impressed with Asuka. Oh, great. Great. Is that how long it's going to take for me to be impressed with this fucking show? So we got Asuka and Kairi Sane being interviewed. They were full of energy, as always. The Kabuki Iconic Irrelevant Warriors. So, she asked Kairi Sane to acknowledge the height difference between her and Nia Jax and said it was insurmountable. Charlie used the word insurmountable. The only thing that is insurmountable is Nia Jax. That's it. That's it. I'll let you guys have fun with that one statement. So why would tonight be any different? Oh, I don't know. Why would tonight be any different? Nia Jax and different in the same sentence? Give me a break. The only difference is Nia Jax has a different side dish tonight than she did last week. Last week it was green beans. She wanted to go healthy. This week it was a fucking slice of Titus's cornbread. ×4. Asuka asked Caruso to be serious because Kairi was ready for a rematch. Hee hee hee. Laughing. She's getting ready to be buried and she's laughing. And Asuka said no one is ready for Asuka. The TV tonight that Asuka was watching this match from, again, wasn't ready for Asuka. I wasn't ready for Asuka, and neither was the ringside area. That wasn't ready for Asuka either. Folks, I ask you a question. Actually, I ask you two questions that I would love an answer to. Number one, why is Nia Jax still employed? I mean, you want to fire Deonna fucking Purrazzo, but you want to keep Nia Jax on the roster. I don't see the value there. At least Deonna Purrazzo's enjoyable to look at. Nia Jax makes me want to vomit up my fucking pizza. Number two, why are you booking the match between Nia Jax and Kairi Sane from last week again this week after last week you've already proved your point? Nia Jax advanced to the Money in the Bank ladder match. Good luck on climbing the ladder. You booked the match last week. You accomplished what you accomplished. You wanted to bury Kairi Sane. All is said and done. You know, prices to Tokyo are about $745. Round trip. I said I would get people together and gladly buy this woman a ticket to get out of this fucking company. Why are you booking this match this week when it means absolutely nothing? And you're booking it in the same way. The only difference is Kairi Sane was wearing leather pants this week, and last week she wasn't. Why are you booking the same match again this week with absolutely no meaning? And Asuka is yelling at the TV for Kairi to get offense in on Nia Jax. Why isn't she allowed at ringside? I'm going to assume she's not allowed at ringside because during Drew McIntyre's match with Garza, Austin Theory was out there, Andrade was out there, Zelina Vega was out there, Street Profits were out, commentary, Bianca Belair was out there against Santana Garrett tonight. No, but Asuka wants to watch this match and cheer for her best friend in the back by watching this on TV. Yeah, people want to know why I fucking complain about this product. Why am I negative about the product? Why are we being given utter trash on this show and nobody questions the things that they do? This is why I'm here. Are they breaking up Asuka and Kairi Sane? Is Kairi Sane really on her way out that they needed to bury her twice against Nia Jax? Why must you put this poor little woman out there and risk her getting a fucking concussion? Because that's exactly what Nia Jax almost did. She almost gave Kairi Sane a concussion by manhandling her and throwing her into the corner and having her head hit the bottom turnbuckle. Nia Jax is fucking terrible. Absolutely terrible. She is the furthest thing from a professional wrestler. She came back. Nothing's changed. She's just as old. She may even be worse than she was before. Nothing's changed. No new moveset. Nothing. No new look. Same hairstyle. Same theme music. Same fucking ring gear. Jesus fucking Christ. Then they want to know why this show is accumulating the worst ratings in the history of the fucking show. Continue to book matches and performers like this. Absolutely fucking terrible is Nia Jax. That's all I will say there. And I'm sure we'll repeat this again next week on the podcast. Seth Rollins, by the way, Nia Jax won with a Samoan drop if you care how she won. Goodbye, Kairi Sane. Seth Rollins was shown sitting on a throne, and it sounded like he was in a room with terrible fucking sound, echoing all over the place. I don't know where they got this fucking throne from. It might have been an NXT prop at one of the fucking takeovers. I don't know where the fuck this thing came from or what he was sitting on, but he tried very hard to look epic sitting in his Game of Thrones throne. So Drew McIntyre is a fighting champion and a brave man. Oh, he's a brave man, you say, Seth. Like you were when you entered the cage against Bray Wyatt, right? You were afraid of a fucking man in a Halloween mask. Pussy. Which he admires and respects, says Seth. Said not many men know what it's like to walk in his shoes. Does anybody really want to walk in Seth Rollins' shoes? That would be walking in the shoes of a failure. Of a failure. So I don't think anybody wants to walk in Seth Rollins' shoes. Maybe. I mean, he is married to Becky Lynch. There'll be a lot of cretins out there that may want to walk in his shoes. A lot of stands out there for Becky Lynch, right? Her and her fucking licking the lips when she cuts the promo, right? You all love that, right? I can't fucking... Thank God we were fucking free of the week of Becky Lynch licking her lips after every fucking sentence via her promos. They showed images of Seth winning the WWE title. Failure. Talked about walking into WrestleMania and beating Brock Lesnar to win the WWE title. Failure. The win itself wasn't a failure. The title reign was booked like a failure. So they have a lot in common. He said, oh, yeah, they have a lot in common. When Seth actually did it, I didn't give a shit. When Drew did it, I gave a shit. So what exactly is the commonness there, Seth? I don't know. Having a very difficult time figuring that one out. Said they both command the respect of their peers and have a deep love and passion for this industry. He accepted Drew's challenge. Of course he did. He's being given a title match for doing nothing. He'd be dumb to not take the challenge. Said he doesn't accept his challenge out of respect or disdain. He says it's not personal. He accepts his challenge out of necessity and duty because now more than ever, the WWE Universe needs a leader. They need a leader. We have a leader in Drew McIntyre. You should change that to the WWE Universe doesn't need a failure. Again, for a third time. He said, as much as they have in common, the similarities stop there. I'm a proven leader, and you're not. He said he will sacrifice for the greater good. Well, if you want to sacrifice for the greater good, why don't you fucking sacrifice and get this rating above a 2.0, Seth? He vowed to take Drew's title at Money in the Bank, not because he wants to, but because he has to. WWE should want to put on a good show because it has to. But they don't, ever. So, we go from that to the Viking Raiders. The Viking Raiders, folks. The Viking Raiders. So bad that they get 2 sound effects. Yes, indeed. Indeed, folks. The Viking Raiders are the new versions of the Revival before they got fired from WWE. A video feature aired of the Viking Raiders driving in a minivan. One of them was chewing on a chicken leg, making Nia Jax jealous. They were wearing their headgear with the windows down, singing karaoke, yelling to each other about how they love being the Viking Raiders. You know, folks, when you look at someone like Hanson and Rowe, you know, you don't envision them wearing their fucking Viking gear, riding around Orlando in a fucking soccer mom SUV. You don't imagine seeing Hanson sitting in the passenger seat eating a chicken leg from Titus Catering. You don't envision them singing karaoke to each other, acting like a bunch of fucking dolts. I look at these guys, they should be riding around. If you want to put them in a car, then at least have fucking Slayer or Testament or Dragon Force or Amon Amarth playing in the background, please. Would it be so fucking difficult to have these guys who are Vikings listening to some, I don't know, Viking metal, put on fucking Amon Amarth, you know? That would be fun. I would look at that and be like, fucking Christ, that was epic. These guys are singing karaoke about how they are the Viking Raiders. What happened to the Viking Raiders of NXT? Dead. Dead. I want to see axes. I want to see these guys drinking out of fucking Viking horns, drinking blood or beer or wine that looks like blood. I want to see these guys fucking doing Viking-like things, filming themselves with fucking Viking paraphernalia around them, filming them on a fucking pirate ship somewhere, a Viking ship. Something. But these guys are singing karaoke as if they're picking up their fucking sons from baseball practice, if there was baseball practice. This was fucking terrible. Absolutely terrible. You humanize these guys to a point where their gimmick is now a fucking joke. A joke. Why would anybody take these guys seriously? I look at this and I laugh. You look at this and laugh. The Viking Raiders have been treated like a piece of shit since their main roster call-up last year. And this is what we have now amounted to on Monday Night Raw. Them singing karaoke about themselves while Hanson eats a chicken leg and Rowe is behind the wheel singing, doing Viking fist pumps in the air out the window. Unreal. Unfucking real. MVP. Unfucking real. MVP's in the ring. I don't know why. He says he's seen a lot of WWE superstars rise and fall in pursuits of the briefcase because inside of it sits a contract with a title shot anytime, anywhere, any place. So, WWE trots out MVP, Montel Vontavious Porter. Nobody asked for this guy to be on TV. They trot this guy out there, and he's going over the rules and regulations of a Money in the Bank ladder match. A match that is probably older than the amount of years he's been fucking retired. This is what you call television on Monday night. Montel Vontavious Porter going over the rules and regulations of a ladder match for Money in the Bank. Who the fuck thought this was needed on the show? He said the man who stands in his way, Cruz, Apollo Crews, not Terry Crews, clowns. Apollo Crews is a gifted athlete, but he's outmatched by a more superior athlete in MVP, of course, right? He said when WWE wanted to make the Money in the Bank ladder match the most unique, they called the most unique competitor. MVP is unique now, folks. MVP is now unique on Monday nights. If MVP is unique, then my balls are fucking unique as well. They certainly do look unique on your fucking sister's face on Tuesday night when I'm fucking trying to get over how awful this show was. Said no stranger to wearing suits or executive boardrooms or signing big money deals. He said he told his agent to book the private jet because he's sure he's going to beat Cruz, Cruz, and head to Money in the Bank to win it all. I don't know if he actually did mention Apollo Crews being Aleister Black. I don't know if he did it on purpose or if he did it as a mistake. I'm assuming he tried to lowball him with that comment because Apollo Crews went like 27 minutes with Aleister Black and lost. I'm assuming that's why he did it. I hope that's why he did it. So we got MVP and Apollo Crews. MVP loses in 7 minutes. Apollo Crews wins. He wins with a sit-out powerbomb. Phillips called it the biggest victory of Apollo Crews' career. The biggest victory of Apollo Crews' career, folks. I'm trying to think if Apollo Crews had a bigger victory in his main roster run. And believe it or not, Tom Phillips might actually be right in this. Beating MVP to qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder match is his biggest victory ever. Awful. Awful. I'm happy Apollo Crews is getting a shot to show what he's made of. But it's too late. It's too late. Is he going to win Money in the Bank? No. Is anybody in the Apollo Crews' great camp? Yeah, a lot of people are. But we're also in the camp of, well, it's 4 years this guy's been on the main roster, and now you want to push him? Now you want to push him. I don't think this guy amounts to anything when we get back to normal. That's what I see in Apollo Crews. He wins in 7 minutes. He advances to Money in the Bank. Charlie Caruso was interviewing Ruby Riott with 2 T's backstage. She asked about being the leader of the Riot Squad. Don't remind me. And she faces a former teammate in Liv Morgan tonight. She asked how they went from tight to so divided. Riot said they never really were a team. Oh, really? They never were really a team. Why don't you go ask Sasha Banks and Bayley about that one? If I remember back in 2017 when the fucking Riot Squad were it, or 2018, whenever the fuck it happened. Why don't you go ask Bayley and Sasha Banks how many fucking times they fought each and every week on Monday Night Raw? 50 weeks out of 52 weeks, it was the same match. Whether it was Natalya or Mickie James or Dana Brooke teaming up against the fucking Riot Squad on a weekly basis. And I am not exaggerating. They were never really a team, she says. Yeah, sure. Sure they won't. Or weren't. They weren't a fucking team. She said she needed double shoulder surgery because she had to carry both Morgan and Sarah Logan on her back. Oh, poor baby. If it wasn't for creative booking and fucking matches with Bayley and Sasha Banks every week, maybe that wouldn't be the case. She said Logan has a broken arm now and unemployed. And Liv will be lucky if she doesn't break both her arms tonight. She says she's still suffering from the delusion. She's grown up and independent, but she's going to show her how lonely and small and weak she is without her. So that's that. I like Ruby Riott. I just don't think WWE cares at all to do anything with Ruby Riott. This one went 4 minutes. We got Liv Morgan beating Ruby Riott in 4 minutes. And she wins with a flatliner off the ropes for a 3 count. And Liv Morgan gets the upset victory because that's indeed what it was, an upset. Liv Morgan has gotten better. She has. I don't want to take anything away from her. She's a lot better than what I remember her doing with the Riot Squad, or even before that when she was in NXT. But there's a report going around as to why the Liv Morgan and Lana lesbian angle was canceled. Now, they dropped it because they merely did it for shock value. They had no plan at all for it to continue. They had no plan for Liv Morgan, and they put Liv Morgan in that role, in that storyline with Lana, Lashley, Trashly, and Rusev, and they had no fucking plan for her. So they wasted her video packages and vignettes and the new gimmick, right, on that. And it never amounted to anything. Nothing. That's what they did. They took Liv Morgan when she wasn't even supposed to be in that storyline, put her in that storyline, ended it, and they had absolutely no direction for her after that whatsoever. Awful, awful, awful creative. This creative is the worst in the industry. Bar none. WWE creative. Rey Mysterio versus Buddy Murphy, Money in the Bank qualifier. This was the best match of the night. 15 minutes. A lot of people were telling me, Buddy Murphy's got to win this match, right? Buddy Murphy's got to win this match, right? Are you fucking kidding me? Buddy Murphy's going to beat Rey Mysterio? Come on, bro. You ain't that stupid. Or WWE ain't that bright. I would love to see Buddy Murphy get a shot in Money in the Bank, but it's Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio advanced. He gets into the Money in the Bank match. He hit a destroyer. Michael Cole was yelling from Friday night, I never seen that one before. Meanwhile, Tom Phillips was like, oh, a destroyer. Yeah. Hey, we see every fucking week now. He landed a destroyer, followed by a 619, top rope splash for the win. Great match between these two. These guys could have went another 10 minutes, and I would have loved it. 15 minutes, and Mysterio advances to the Money in the Bank ladder match. I'm asking myself, A, what is Buddy Murphy going to do next? I'm surprised he wasn't let go. And B, when is Rey Mysterio's contract up? That's what I want to know. AEW, Cody, I'm sure counting down the days for that contract to be up. Charlie Caruso, busy woman tonight, interviewed Vega and Garza. Vega said it wasn't noble of Drew McIntyre to attack Andrade when he could barely stand. She said Angel will give Drew the lesson in nobility that he clearly needs. He said Drew might not even make it to the Money in the Bank pay-per-view to defend his title against Seth. Garza said when he finishes with Drew, he'd love for her to ask him how it felt to defeat the champion. He said so in a way that was obviously very flirtatious to Charlie Caruso, and I wonder how Angel Garza's wife feels about that last line. I'm sure she knows it's all an act. Good for him. He's great. Charlotte and Kayden Carter. Charlotte wins in 2 minutes. Kayden Carter buried. I don't really understand why this match needed to happen on Monday. Charlotte is the NXT Women's Champion. So why don't we get Charlotte on Wednesday on NXT fighting Kayden Carter? I don't get it. Now we gotta see Charlotte on Monday beating an NXT talent and feasting on the NXT Women's Division. And then we gotta see her on Monday accepting a challenge from Mia Yim and burying Mia Yim in her first title defense on NXT. So, for all the idiots out there that told me, oh, Charlotte's going to make the NXT Women's Division better, and Charlotte's going to make the NXT Women's Championship stand out, and she's going to bring prestige and value to the NXT Women's Championship, I ask you where? Is this a fucking video game, or is this real life? Because I'm still trying to find the reasons as to why this woman is still carrying around the NXT Women's Championship. I'm trying to find the reasons why Rhea Ripley lost the NXT Women's Championship at WrestleMania. I find no redeeming value in this situation whatsoever. I don't. In fact, Charlotte Flair is devaluing the Women's Championship week by week by week. She's gonna fucking feast and dine and bury the entire NXT Women's Division until she gets to Rhea Ripley, and then by that time, the damage and the carnage and the chaos will have already been done, and Rhea Ripley can beat Charlotte while she ran through the entire division, and then at that point, when you fucking idiots think that Rhea Ripley's gonna win the title back and it's gonna miraculously mean something to you, and to the WWE, and to the title, and to Rhea Ripley, it will mean nothing. Nothing. And then by that time, I ask you, who is gonna be left for Rhea Ripley to have any fucking matches against that have any sort of value whatsoever? I would love for you guys to chew on that one. Did you see me or hear me stutter in anything that I said? Fuck no. Fuck no. You know, a champion is only as good as the challengers that are before them. How is Rhea Ripley's title reign, if we even get a second title reign from her at this point? And for all the idiots out there, I hope Io Shirai beats Charlotte Flair. Oh my God, you guys, man, you're fucking then Dane Cook and fucking Andrew Dice Clay in their prime, bro. Jesus Christ, man. You guys are hilarious. Hilarious. I hope Io Shirai beat Charlotte Flair. Are you fucking serious? Io Shirai only won that ladder match because Charlotte Flair is going to add another fucking Japanese woman or another woman that the fans herald as the greatest ever, the greatest on the planet, to her resume. She'll be another name on the tombstone, folks. Another name on the fucking tombstone of burials in WWE in the women's division. Seriously, you guys gotta be the dumbest fuck. These people on social media gotta be the dumbest fucks ever, man. Swear to God, you guys gotta be smarter than that, man. Seriously, if you're listening to me, you gotta be of a certain level, okay? Most of the people watching me here are wise enough to understand that this is what is happening. Now, there may be a percentage or two of people that are listening to me that don't like me, that you're listening anyway, and they're going to take this clip and post it on social media and laugh and boast about it. Go ahead! Go ahead. What am I saying that is so outlandish and so false that you guys need to dissect and pick it apart? What did I say? Nothing. Nothing out of the ordinary here, folks. This is the way of life. This is the business that we're conducting here on Monday nights. We got to see Charlotte on Monday and Charlotte on Wednesday. WWE really must hate us. They really must hate us, man. Charlotte is awaiting a new update, firmware 8.7.9, and I'm not sure when that goes into effect, but make sure her batteries are charged and docked into a electrical outlet somewhere, because otherwise it won't update. It won't update. Charlotte Flair wins against Kayden Carter in 2 minutes. with a figure 8. Figure 8. 8 times terrible is Charlotte Flair. Akira Tozawa versus Andrade. Andrade wins in 5 minutes. Akira Tozawa is great at what he does. No ramen noodle moonsault comments by Jerry Lawler this week. He did the same thing, and I was waiting for Jerry Lawler to say ramen noodle moonsault with a side of fried rice somewhere, you know. But there was no apology. There was no apology on WWE's behalf. They still got Lawler out there. They don't give a fuck about the fans' criticisms or the fans' complaints. They don't give a fuck. Clearly, they don't give a fuck. He's still out there. He's still out there. I didn't hear one peep of an apology from Jerry Lawler about his comments on Akira Tozawa. Andrade wins in 5 minutes. Hammerlock DDT off the second rope. That's it. Tozawa is great. Andrade is great. This was great. I'd love to see more of Akira Tozawa. I wish Akira Tozawa and Andrade were in better positions on this show. They're too good to just be at the level they are at. Bianca Belair and Santana Garrett. If you don't know the name or are familiar with Santana Garrett, she's an NXT talent that is awaiting her opportunity. Street Profits danced on the stage while Zelina Vega and Andrade returned to the back. Bianca Belair, Montez's wife, is cooler than Montez Ford. That's all I'm going to say. Bianca Belair wins here with the KOD, and that was it. Hopefully WWE sees what they have in Bianca Belair, because if they don't, oh man, you think my Charlotte Flair rants are epic. Holy shit, wait, I'm awaiting Bianca to be fucking held back and buried on Monday Night Raw. If we don't get Bianca versus Becky Lynch, I'm going to be very, very annoyed, because that's exactly where this should be going. Bianca wins, no doubt about it. And finally, guys, Drew McIntyre versus Angel Garza with Zelina, Austin Theory, and Andrade at ringside. They're all allowed to be out there, and Asuka would just prefer to leave Kairi Sane to the fucking hungry hippo in the ring with Nia Jax. We got Drew McIntyre versus Angel Garza. This one went 5 minutes. They left this match. The bell rung at 10:54. A match with Andrade and Drew McIntyre went 5 minutes. On what planet is that okay? I don't know. Now, you guys thought the beginning was bad. I hate saying it. I got to reiterate it again. Let's go back. Let's go back. We got Garza and Austin Theory. No. You go. No, bro. No, I'm good. You go. We'll both go. No. And Zelina Vega's just looking at them. Will you guys get in the fucking ring? It's a 2-on-1 situation. Take this guy out. He just took your boy out. He took my boy out. Nobody wants to get in the ring. Okay? There's your refresher. 2 guys don't want to take on one. The advantage, they're afraid of the advantage, right? They look like pussies. They look like cowards. They look like little chicken shits with a yellow streak running down their back. And we get Garza and McIntyre. Garza basically got no offense. He legitimately looked like a jobber, which pains my soul in this match. And why do I say that? He barely had an opportunity to take his pants off. And I don't mean that in some homoerotic way, but I mean that as a way when Garza takes his pants off, it's one of those situations where, you know, he's kind of doing his thing and he's in control. He takes the pants off and he's feeling it. He's in the momentum, right? He's feeling the momentum. That didn't happen. McIntyre ripped his pants off for him as he was dangling outside of the ring. And he then flips over the top rope. He takes out Andrade, Garza, and Theory with a Roman Reigns-like suicide dive. And I'm thinking to myself, man, they really must be pissed at Roman Reigns. He yelled at Vega, "I can do it all," he says. Drew then threw Andrade over the barricade and then gave Austin Theory a big boot. Back in the ring, Drew took over on Garza and set up a reverse Alabama slam. Garza rolled through, scored a near fall. Drew came back with a Claymore kick, and that was it. That was it. Drew leaned over and talked with Saxton at ringside about his win as his music played. He then returned to the ring and gave Garza another Claymore kick. He looked at Vega and told her to keep sending them his way, and he'll keep Claymoring them down. Austin Theory, now, in the beginning of the show, didn't want to get in with Garza's help. He didn't want the 2-on-1 situation. What do you think he does here, folks? Austin Theory rolls in the ring in a 1-on-1 situation. The guy was pretty much looking like he was drunk in a New York City non-quarantined bar at 4 a.m. in the morning with the closing bell, last call, rolling into the ring, drunk like a fucking motherfucker. This guy eats a Claymore kick, and he looks like a complete blithering fucking fool. Drew McIntyre celebrated with his belt on the stage, and the show went off the air. And we got Los Buried on Monday Night Raw. Garza, Theory, Andrade, the United States Championship, buried in 2 weeks. How to bury up-and-coming talent in 2 weeks, WWE style. There you go. There you go. I don't know what you guys want from me. I really don't. But this show was terrible. This fucking brand is terrible. The creative on this show is fucking terrible. I hate watching guys like this just get buried for the sake of what? For the sake of what? I don't get it. If you wanted Rollins and McIntyre, you should have given us Rollins and McIntyre. Instead, you use these guys as a catapult to make McIntyre look good and use these guys as a catapult to somehow make sense that Rollins is getting a fucking title shot against Drew McIntyre at Money in the Bank. Meanwhile, you bury 3 guys, the title, and we're getting Seth Rollins, who is undeserving of a title shot, getting a title shot at Money in the Bank. Told you, folks, it was all in the follow-up. You may be thinking that Drew McIntyre is being booked like a beast, but how much of a beast can he look? How much of a beast can he look without it being a detriment to the rest of the show? After Seth Rollins, after he beats Seth Rollins, who else is there? Who else is there? I'll give you a hint, folks. There is nobody else. Could have been Andrade. It could have been Garza. And now it's going to be nobody. Now it's going to be nobody. Aleister Black's going to win Money in the Bank, and I'm not sure if that's even happening. We may get Aleister Black and Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam. I have no idea. I have no idea. But if that's the case, it's babyface versus babyface. Why aren't we getting Kevin Owens versus Drew McIntyre at Money in the Bank? That's babyface versus babyface, and that match actually makes sense. I'm done trying to explain logic on this show. I'm getting the fuck out of here. Thank you guys so very much for joining me here on the podcast. If you enjoyed it, please hit that thumbs up down below and turn on that bell for all notifications. Hit that subscribe button. And make sure you guys check out all the other content that you might have missed on the channel. Links are down below. Follow me on social media at JD206. Patreon.com/JD206. Blue Chew was the sponsor tonight. BlueChew.com. And use code JD at checkout for your free sample. Make sure you guys hit them up. Great friends and great sponsors of the show. And I want to thank them for supporting me again here on Monday Night Raw. Thank you guys so very much. I'll be back with some Final Fantasy VII tomorrow on Twitch. And then I'll be back on Wednesday for your AEW Dynamite review. We got Sammy Guevara, and Darby Allin in the TNT Championship Tournament. And we'll talk about that on Wednesday night. Till then, guys, hit that thumbs up. And I'll see you right back here on Wednesday for Dynamite.